Are they diesel
Yes.
still?
Well, the smaller ones aren't.
So do you have them plugged in then? Or?
No, they're not. That
Really?
has amazed me. Yeah, that amazed me. Of course, they've all got, all the fluid or all the fuel is, treated,
Uh-huh.
you know, so it thins it down so that they were always, when I was at the school years ago,
Yeah,
everything was plugged in. Everything was.
yeah.
But now they got glow plugs in them and the fuel is thin and they haven't failed us yet. We'll see about Friday. That'll be the day for the test. Yes.
Still.
The small ones.
So do you have them plugged in then?
2, 3.
There,
1, 2, 3.
now
Brian's just gonna pull this. Thanks for reminding me. I was sitting there typing and you were like, are you going early? I'm like, crap, what am I
Oh,
forgetting
yeah.
about? And then you were like, we're supposed to be there at 4:30. And I'm like, oh.
The folder that they were talking about in regard to the row, you have a folder or something? that
it's
you
Kevin's
said-
folder. It's not a new
It's
folder.
Kevin's.
It's Kevin's folder that's been there forever, that almost everybody has all the copies out of. Lisa McNaney hopefully will come tomorrow and get hers. But
Okay.
it's all the deeds, starting back in 1899 and coming forward.
So you be actually, because I went over to, I was gonna do that today, and there was nobody there that could let me in to the little room.
Buzz.
Yeah,
We have a whole bunch of that. I don't know if we have every single. We have a lot of them.
so, what time is it? Are we early?
It's 4:19.
Yeah,
Kevin's
we're
over
early.
there right now.
Can I, so I can just go over this,
Yeah.
if I can take a look at it while we're here.
It's probably a pretty thick folder though.
It is.
I
And
can
it's
imagine.
well over 100 pages. I would think.
Is that whole thing dead now or?
No. I fully expect it will come back to the planning board at some point in the future. When that is, I don't know. Kathy told me yesterday that Matt was trying to reach their lawyer.
Michael Damian?
Guy put an email out today saying, no, that's not true. So I have no idea what's going on.
He said that Michael, or he said Matt didn't call
Oh, yeah.
him. Everything in writing, that guy. He used to be part of a firm that was on East Avenue that was a friend of mine who became the assistant attorney general down in Rochester. And very familiar with Michael. Eugene Welch was Welch and Associates over there, but he ended up moving on to bigger and better things, I guess. If you want to be the attorney general.
You know, me.
Me either. I worked in their office for an internship when I was in college. Didn't like it.
Yeah, but
Changed my mind about being a lawyer. So. I like to argue, but I don't want to do it like that. So
But I'd be a good liar too.
I'm a good liar.
Liar.
I know, I'm so lawyer.
You know, I didn't know, no, liar. I didn't say good lawyer. Because there's not a lot of them around.
No, there isn't. It's a shame. So much for doing the right thing, right?
it's hard to even know what the right thing is these days.
Self-perception.
Yeah, because what's right on Monday's not on Friday.
Right.
Yeah, depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah,
There's no difference between right and wrong apparently anymore.
Or being polite.
yeah, you can blend a whole bunch into that statement, you know. Yeah, a whole bunch into that.
Got the
statement.
folder?
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks like it's got a lot in it.
Which reminds me, I have my key with me that I will get back tonight too.
No.
Found it in my little pamphlet there. Anybody else want to take a look?
Sure, I haven't seen it. I've heard everything that people like to throw around out there. Haven't seen it.
There are two versions of the 1899 deed, the handwritten original and one that somebody typed.
Okay.
So you can actually read it? Or
Yeah.
Lisa,
Because you can't read I can't read the handwritten.
Wrong.
this is the other.
This looks pretty. Kevin's
Yeah,
got a lot
I think
of,
we're
this
gonna
is the petition that they put together, is that what this is?
Is that the petition?
I don't see signatures.
Yeah, that's the petition that Lakeland Property.
What did Art have to say about the petition? Did it have any teeth?
Yeah, it's just a group of residents that,
Don't agree with that.
that don't agree with putting a fence up. What Art and Matt have both said, based on reading the 1899 deed, is that the village does not have the right to close the right of way, nor does the Corps. It requires a vote of the residents of Village of Silver Spring, based on the way the deed.
Why would you see that?
Huh?
Why would you see
Well,
that?
maybe that's what we'll end up doing.
I think that would be the right way to do it.
Yep.
All of a sudden this comes up now.
Or it came up before.
Oh,
This whole problem was caused by Art doing a 180 the night of the meeting. Until that time, he was, don't approve it, don't approve it, don't approve it to all of them.
right.
And I don't know what happened that night.
Well, Lisa said, called me and she asked me if I had seen this document. I said, there's a folder off in town. I said, I'm gonna go to a meeting tomorrow night. I was gonna take a look. And, I said, but I'm sure you can go up there and look at it. I don't
Oh, I see what you mean.
Apparently she did, she'd come this morning and whatever she said wasn't understood, because I ended up calling, did a FOIL request, so I
Okay.
called her. And I said, that costs money. And well, how much? I said, oh, I don't know, but it's a big folder. So I got to call her back and encourage her to come up and go through and pick out what she wants a copy of, if
Right,
anything, and
right.
do it that way. Because some of the duplicated stuff,
If I don't get through this, I'll come back in the morning.
So
Then
take it.
tomorrow afternoon, I got stuff every Thursday morning.
Somebody's gonna come, is this yours?
No, that all
That's
goes
only got-
together.
Nice, like reading.
Well, if the 1899 lease was deeded to somebody saying that it was deeded to the, what is it called? Lakeview.
no,
They didn't even exist then.
it wasn't deeded.
I didn't think it was
It was
either.
deeded to the Corps and to the public at large.
Which would say that would be the vote.
Yeah.
That's who should vote on whether it should be
Yeah.
changed. I can't imagine I would be interpreted any other way.
So we have a general election next year.
We had a November election, yeah.
Would you just do a general?
Referendum, I voted.
I would assume we'd have a referendum on that.
Right.
I think it'd be a good way to handle it, except for a lot of people are gone.
Well, the people that are gone can absentee ballot, or
Yeah.
many of them aren't registered to vote here, so they have no voice, and that's on them.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, that's some of the problem. We have a lot of absentee residents and
with a lot of
non-voting
opinions,
visitors.
with a lot of opinions
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
seasonal seasonal villages like this fight it all the time.
oh, yeah, we're not
We're not
unique or
usually,
unusual.
yeah. I know, the speculator that I talked to them here for quite a while about the different things with Airbnbs and stuff, and she was, yeah. this is-
Oh, yeah.
and- It'll probably be tomorrow afternoon. I'll come back up and see if there's anything else.
I could probably come in there. I don't think
Or we
there
can
is.
stay tonight. I got the key and we leave the key there.
Is there nobody
We can
here?
lock the door, and when you leave, it will just lock. When you
Yeah.
Push it shut.
Okay.
No one's coming in tonight.
Howard.
No.
Gave mama medicine before I left, so I'm good for a couple hours.
Oh, good. How's your dad
Tough,
doing?
isn't it?
Well, he's gonna be moving in with us.
Oh, he is.
They evicted him. The trailer park did.
Your father?
Yeah, what they're doing is every one of their trailer parks that they own, they're cleaning house. And there was some
Reason to.
loopholes and such as that, and plus there was another reason as well. But, yeah, so the only place for him to go without being outside basically is gonna be my house, him and Todd.
Oh, God.
So, but
Welcome to hell.
it's like Sherry said, she said, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, the biggest thing right now is just I'm trying to find a wheelchair ramp for the front of the house.
Wait a minute, let me think. Who do I know?
Well, I'm gonna call Art Putnam and see if he's got any sections of aluminum dock floor front
Oh,
anymore
there you go.
for just to borrow, because that's all it's gonna, I mean, and I hate to say that, just to borrow, but Dad's not gonna live forever, excuse the
No.
expression, and
We built one for my mom in her garage. It's made out of wood though.
Yeah. well, yeah, and that's, I talked to Kevin the other day, and, I don't wanna build anything that's permanent.
Yeah.
Or looks permanent, because then it takes you really ought to have
An inspection.
An architect and all that.
and it's
Oh,
just,
this was prior to her even being injured
Yeah.
or having surgery. It was for the dog. And the dog is so fat. So the dog's staying with me now. It's at the vet farm. It's already almost 10 pounds.
and there's no way to put it on the back side of the house, because it's off the deck, which goes, any way you go down the deck, it goes across in front of a door to get out of the house, and,
Yeah.
so it's gotta be the front door, So I'll find it, we'll get Dad moved in, you're gonna be right in the very front room. Well, they're gonna get together, the attorneys and that are gonna get together on the 22nd of February.
So by then.
And then they're trying to decide on what's gonna happen with, they've offered to take the trailer as part of what Todd owes. But you're looking at about $1,000 a month between lot rent, water, and that kind of stuff. Dad's retirement's only $1,353, so that was the problem.
Why don't
Todd,
Couldn't
for
afford to pay for everybody.
for 15 years, Todd kept right on the money with making the rent net, and with everything else that's going on, he couldn't do it, so that's where we're at anyway right now. But
Sorry to hear that.
he should be eligible, both of them, to go to, we called it Orchard Estates, which were lovely. in
yeah, there's
Lansing,
nothing open.
Isn't
The
there?
one in Sodas, the one in Williamson, there's openings, but Dad and Todd don't want to be in Williamson, and I understand that Dad wants to be in Sodas Point, so we just said we'll fold on this and
Yeah,
put him in the front room. The bathroom's right next to where he's gonna be, and, and he can roll himself out on the floor to the living room.
Like,
Look out there. And look out. Look, oh, I know. And since what Sherry said to me, our privacy's done,
It is.
Yeah.
which,
but you, as I've told Jennifer, as hard as it is, you won't be sorry when it's,
oh, no, no.
My mom was walking with a cane today, so I'm excited.
oh, my God.
PT person came and
Yeah.
she said, you should really do it on the walker. Have you tried a cane? And I go, what? So I said, I have one in the garage, but it's one of those 4-prong ones.
Yeah.
This is, if the one that Tom's got is gold, I was gonna bring it.
It just needs to be straight. Not
It's
have
straight,
like
but-
a prong,
But it doesn't have the prongs,
because they're afraid of her.
and it's flashy, she might like it. It's
It's
fancy, fancy.
Yeah, no,
It
how
worked good.
tall
for-
is it though? 'Cause my mom's like.
It's adjustable,
Oh, perfect. This
I'll
one
grab
was
it.
all maybe 5.
but I think when you said walking stick, I think he built a walking stick
Her
actual
hands aren't
to,
flexible, but yeah, she
Yeah.
really needs to be.
okay.
All right, we'll call our workshop to order. You have Sharon Lilla and Sharon somebody, I assume Lilla on Zoom. I first wanted to give an update on Guy Rick Post that was
Oh,
doing all that Facebook stuff yesterday and even today, just under a different, he's got a few names out there. I did report it to the sheriff yesterday morning. They spent yesterday afternoon on it. They tried to visit him. He's not here. He has not been here since the snow.
okay,
But I think he lives in Phelps. We figured out, the sheriff tried to go talk to him. He wouldn't, he would not engage with them. So all his social media is being monitored by the sheriff, which I think really means the state police. I don't know who actually does it. So they're on it, they're watching him. I think several residents reported him to 911. I know that we had several calls here in town. And I had a few text messages from people that don't even live here right now, but own property down by him, so.
it was interesting because I hadn't seen it and.
Brandon walked up and said something to us, Jeff.
Yeah. I
This is like,
was
worried about y'all being shot. I'm like,
This is not new for him. He's threatened me ever since before Ready. Sheriff has visited him multiple times. We know that he takes some kind of medicine and he gets like this when he doesn't take it.
Hmm.
So that's probably the problem. The sheriff does have Wayne County Mental Health involved.
Oh, good.
Whether they can do anything. My experience with them is they can't do anything. It's like nobody can do anything. We all just have to live with it till he shoots something. But we'll see.
Did we ever go back and cut a curb for him and stuff?
No, we don't need to cut a curb for him. It's just like everybody else down there. He still has no defined driveway. And if you drive over the curb, it's like driving over a gutter. How his muffler got, I'd love to see that, because I can't imagine that happened. But
So everybody's curb is like his is.
if they didn't already have a defined driveway, when you hit a defined driveway, you got the normal driveway curb. Everybody else on that end, because it was too narrow to have gutters, got what's called a mountable curb,
Okay.
which is a simple curb to drive.
His problem, I think, was his land was really low on the other side, so once he was over it, that was his suggested, I ripped my muffler off kind of thing. Because his yard was lower than.
Yeah, and
the-
he's built that up.
That may help.
And despite his, I'm disabled neck injury, he rides jet skis and it's poured a hole out of concrete.
Oh.
So,
Well, he's lucky
That's why
he's
his
got
neck
agile.
hurts.
Yeah, well, disabled vets, there's no question that they
Right.
disabled them from the veterans who
yeah,
disabled.
I mean.
It's not like if he was working at the post office, they'd be out looking for him.
He needs help that he probably isn't getting.
Yeah.
So just an update on that.
Thank you.
I'll also let you know that Brad met with Keith Burrows from Burrows Brothers this morning, looking for a non-invasive way to at least clear the existing pipe. And that essentially turned up flat. If he were to try to clear that pipe, he would need to be on the Woods property and all the other properties. He would do it with a vac truck and water rather than an excavator, so it wouldn't be completely messy. But he thinks you have to expose the pipe in several locations to know what's there. There's water in the main now, so you can't camera it, because when you run a camera down through there, it just turns up all silt.
So can we do something with eminent domain then, or what is Matt said about that kind of thing?
Nothing, yeah. He told us in an email that he'd asked the title company
Right.
to do that research. That probably takes 2 or 3 weeks. I don't expect that there's an easement, hoping there is. But if there isn't, then we'll have to approach them to get one. And my guess is they'll refuse, but maybe not. I mean, she for some reason thought we were gonna do something this morning.
Oh, good.
And she offered to have to pay him to do whatever on her property. And she actually called him, and he goes, "I'm working for the village, not for you. If there's a plan with the village will tell you." But I'm sure she'll be back in touch.
Well, that might be a good thing. Maybe that's a good start. Maybe she
I
can.
think she knows it's blocked. She hired somebody to do what you guys did with,
I think she does.
hostage, and she knows.
We know it's blocked on her property. It may be blocked
Right, but she
other
found
places
that out.
too.
She found that on her own. She said that she didn't trust your report because it had typos. Hostage's report had typos, so she wanted her own, and my understanding is this past summer, she paid somebody and they gave her the same outcome.
Yeah.
And she told the neighbor that they didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, he told me that too.
Yeah.
Expense wise, if they were to do what this company that Brad has, are we talking about less money? Because I think there was a lot of overkill on what Hostage had on there.
We're talking about a completely different project, because we won't end up with a pipe big enough for a 10-year storm. We'll end up with a pipe the current size and capacity, which will handle
a lot of water.
a lot of water in a lot of situations, especially the ones that we've had for the last month. We can certainly take that approach. It will be a whole lot less money. Cottage's estimate included a brand new driveway for everybody that has a paved driveway, not a patch job, but a brand new driveway. And replacing all the big trees and fence and all that stuff that would end up being disturbed. So yeah, there's fat in that. I've also asked them if any of those costs have materially changed. I don't have an answer yet.
Okay. Yeah, Jennifer and I were down there looking yesterday, and there's a couple of good points that Jennifer made. There, the Johnsons that built that beautiful new house that they actually in Sodas drained all their water to that pond also. So that makes it a portion of Sodas too. And I'm wondering if we should be working with them to see what's going on.
There's also water that comes down Sill Road that
From the
goes
Gulf
onto the
Coast.
golf course and ends up down there that could go under Sill Road. And there's several different potential solutions. Yes, the Johnsons have caused a big part of the problem. All the deforestation that's occurred on Johnson's property, on the other properties, on the golf course,
Yeah,
is all contributed.
yes,
Raising of the properties contributes. There's a ton of changes that have happened
yeah,
that are contributing to the problem.
There's a lot more water over there than there ever was.
yeah,
I mean, when you drive down there and you look
Yeah.
up,
Yeah,
it used to just be a little tiny thing of water. Now it's frozen water, like as far as you can see back into the woods.
yeah, and it goes all the way to the golf course.
It never was like that.
so, and the golf course is Sodas Point, or is that Sodas?
I think I don't know. I don't know.
We must get tax from it.
We
If
can, we can
it's,
look at that.
yeah, we'll have to look it up.
All right, on to ARPA.
Okay,
First of all, I'm not trying to rush us to do anything because we don't have to obligate the funds until December 31st, 24, and we don't have to spend them until December 31st, 26. We got lots of time. We got about $87,000. We spent 20 last year on Social Road. We've allocated 15, for Willow Park. Bye.
Hello, I found it being late. We're already on one calendar, right? And we're gonna put March first on the other one.
Don't be coaching things. Yeah, that-
Lauren just said part of the golf course is in the village and part of it's in town.
okay, so again, it's a joint venture.
Yep. So we have about $50,000 of ARPA funds remaining to be spent over the next essentially 3 years. What the county did and some other municipalities have done is they have bonused their employees, their full-time employees. So I would propose that we allocate $2,000 for each of our 9 full-time employees as a way to say thank you, as a way to mitigate potentially their union raise increase. I know that several of them are struggling a bit financially right now. So I think it would be a welcome receipt on their part. We talked about a lot of other potential areas to spend it. And I don't think there's anything pressing that we're ready to spend on right now. I also wonder if 15,000 is going to be enough for Willow Park once we get those proposals back.
Well, with you having the back time or the time to worry about that, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we don't have to do anything.
Right.
You can allocate some of this stuff like you're talking about for the bonus or whatever, but the other can sit. You know what I mean? You can have ideas, but like you said, if more money came up needed for Willow Park or for whatever, you've got that time to work with.
How do you see this mitigating something from the union contract?
We'll have given them a bonus just before we start talking. That's not scheduled yet, but I suspect by the end of the month or early part of March, we'll begin to have our discussion. And the Social Security COLA was 8.7%. that seems excessive, but, they've been getting 2% for the last 3 years, so. Last year's social security COLA was, I don't know, 5 or 6%. So I know they feel they're behind.
So we're looking at $18,000 for that.
Which would leave us somewhere between 30 and 35 left.
I don't have a problem with giving them a raise. I have a problem with taking it out of the ARPA fund. Why can't we just give a bonus out of regular funds? This seems like it's kind of backdoors. Can we just take it out of a budget line item as a makeshift type thing or not?
It could come out of fund balance. We just have to move money around in the budget. The only reason it's coming, that I'm proposing it come out of ARPA is that was what the county did as a way to reduce some of the angst on their employees over pay.
And did that help?
Yes.
Did they negotiate yet?
They
On their
didn't,
union.
they have several unions. They just settled with one of the sheriff unions, I believe. I think the road patrol is not settled yet.
And where did they come in?
The other thing is too, it doesn't, you don't have people getting all over you about the fact you're taking it out of a budget that, where's it coming from to use the.
It's not
ARPA funds.
recurring,
Yeah.
right? It's a
That's the advantage of it. It's not recurring and it doesn't build in future years.
It's not a lot of money. Usually taxes,
Yep.
it's-
The town of
No,
Lawrence
it's not.
did that with also, I think, with
Yeah.
some of their ARPA funds.
Right, and everybody's
They did
getting.
the same thing.
Did we provide cell phones for them or anything?
The on-call.
Stipend for that? Okay. So they get a stipend,
They get a stipend.
so it's a reimbursable expense. They get a clothing allowance.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with doing that. It's like you said, it's not recurring, you
It's
know,
not.
this is a one-time
Bonus.
upfront and, you know,
Money that we don't have to add to which taxes
Right.
for
Yeah,
budget purposes.
Right.
It's not hurting the taxpayers, it's trying to help.
Yeah, we're
people
really
work
just
here.
thanking our employees and
Helping them through, it's tough right now for everybody.
Yep.
so when you're looking at this and you've got new hires that are here less than a year, are you looking at a sliding scale or a flat fee for everything?
I'm open to either. I thought a flat fee because that's simplest to do and doesn't require any formula that everybody can try to pick apart.
It'll just cause an argument. We don't have anybody under a year.
Yeah, everybody's at least a year and a half now.
So seniority, I mean, I've seen Brad step to the plate on a number of issues.
I think I would raise something.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
But
thought about
leadership.
it, because there's 2 or 3 employees I would like to reward a lot. And I can justify it. But I don't know that I want to live through it.
When you don't want to de-incentivize people who aren't, you know what I mean?
No.
yeah.
And some of it's opportunity, some of it's what are they asked to do?
Yeah, I don't really think, and I don't, you know, that
Okay.
I'm not in the middle of going up and talking with everybody at the sewer and water and that stuff, but I haven't heard any bitching, excuse the expression, from employees in a long time, like the past. We'll just leave it at that. Well, you know what I'm going with this, you know where I'm going. I think they're happy to have a job. And I think this is kind of a good way to say thank you and, you know, like I said, they haven't been grumbling that I know of, maybe about the contract that's coming or whatever, but
They're not-
that's just nature of the beast.
Honestly, they haven't said a word
Well,
about it.
there you go. There you go.
And I don't know whether Jeff is the steward or Terry is the steward.
Boy,
It's one of the
you
two.
can flip a coin on
There's
those.
no guarantee this will affect that conversation at all.
No,
Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
No,
No.
absolutely
good
not.
faith, good faith effort.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But Exactly. Does that take a motion or something, or?
Yes.
Well, I'll make a motion, we do what you said with the 2,000 for the 9, for each of the 9 guys. And then when it comes down to an annual, not an annual thing, but to see who's been here at least a year, that kind of stuff, that's for you guys to, or you and Tracy to, I don't know.
So what is it you just said?
Well, just to, just give them the $2,000 bonus
Times
for the
9.
9 people.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody new, then go with.
There isn't.
Okay, well, then we don't have to worry about it. Okay, then that's fine. Then don't even put that down.
Is there anybody that we should include from the ambulance fund or any of that?
No, they're not employees. And not only that, we take care of them at Christmas time.
Okay,
The agency itself does.
I'll
Okay.
second Bill's motion.
okay.
All in favor?
I,
Thank you. Any other discussion on ARPA?
The only thing I can say is that that leftover balance or that leftover money is to keep it hanging until we find out what's going on with a couple things that are gonna be coming up here shortly. That's all, you know.
Make sure we can cover the little works.
Yep.
yeah, did we ever make a motion for the 15? I don't think we did. I think we
Let's
just.
do it now. I don't know. I don't honestly know.
When is the,
The RFP is due back early part of March. March
we still
6th.
have time
March
to actually make the motion
Oh, yeah.
equal the amount instead of,
Yes, Sharon.
Sharon's question.
Well, we know you already got it down here.
She
You have to
did
un- Please unmute yourself.
Did that work?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, no, the RFQ is due in March 1st.
Yeah.
At 3:00. This is first, not raising my hand. Number 1. Yeah, anyway, all right. I'll mute myself again.
I don't know. No.
Yeah, we
So
can, we can absolutely wait.
Yeah,
We can absolutely wait because we're not spending.
yeah,
our
because
money.
it might come in
Slightly
less.
less, or it might be slightly more. There's no point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, then you, yeah.
We'll hold off and start all over again. That doesn't, yeah, that's a good idea. There
okay.
she is. She's gotta go to the bathroom again.
No, I love your idea about holding ARPA money in abeyance because Lori, as you know, you're gonna, because you did an RFQ, you're gonna be in a position to negotiate a fee with who ends up being the successful consultant. And even though they all now think it's $15,000, if you got a little money in your pocket that they don't know about and you want more services, you're free to negotiate that at the time that you're negotiating the final scope of services.
That's good. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Nobody's got anything else? We can adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
In favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Stay warm.
Wow.
Thank you. I was